The visa backlog has also been a problem in Iraq. We're joined by Katie Reisner. She's the National Policy Director at the Iraqi Refugee Assistance Program, or project, I should say. Thanks so much for joining us. Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire has said, we, meaning the United States, have a responsibility as Americans to provide assistance to those people who have been helpful, who risk their lives to help our country. And I think we need to make sure we fulfill that obligation. So if you were to give the U.S. a grade on that, how are they doing?
Thanks so much, Mike. You know, it's been a mixed record. I think it's a mixed report card. As the report stated earlier, we've seen recently a great deal of progress from the State Department and other agencies involved in processing these visas. But what's really tragic here is that for thousands of people, the opportunity has been effectively lost because for years throughout the history of the program was at a stalemate, and the visas that were available during those years expired. And so as Secretary Kerry stated in the LA Times, what we're facing now is the exhaustion of the visas available to Afghans, and we're still seeing backlogged wait times for Iraqis and Afghans as well.
Katie, you used the word tragic. I spoke to one man earlier today who's trying to get out of Iraq. He was a translator for the United States. Let's listen to his dilemma, and then I'd like to get your reaction as well.
I had no option but to talk now and try and maybe, you know, some people could actually help, not just me, but those who are still waiting for their visas to be granted.
That's Yusuf Al-Tamimi. Katie, I'm sure you've heard stories like that. What do you think when you hear comments like his?
I mean, it's heartbreaking. Yusuf is an exceptional human. He's dedicated literally a decade of his life to working both directly with U.S. forces and as a human rights journalist and researcher, advancing the values that we hold dear. He's in immediate threat right now. And in his case in particular, he's been waiting for 2 years, almost 2 years with his wife and children, for a process that should take no longer than 6 weeks if it was done in a coordinated fashion. And that's the background check that's just done as a routine matter for anyone entering the country. That Yusuf, who's dedicated so much of his life and put his family at so much risk to help our mission in Iraq, has to wait 2 years for no answer is to my mind unconscionable. Yusuf needs an answer now, and he needs to be able to move on with his life. And he has no future in Iraq.
Well, let's talk about that because he also talked about the effects of this situation in his life. Let's listen.
That missing period of time, it's a gap in our life that we hide. We don't have any other, you know, another solid future that we could rely on.
He talks about the fact that when it comes to his resume, his CV, he leaves this as a gap because you are prone to being targeted if you put down that you worked with the United States as a translator.
That's right. I mean, Yusuf is exceptional, but there are also thousands like him. We rely so heavily on in-country support when we are operating massive theaters of war. And it's absolutely well known throughout Iraq and Afghanistan who has worked with the United States, and there's no real way to keep that a secret because the folks who work for us in country, their very job is to be part of the face of the mission. Their job is most frequently to interface directly with the local population, to be the eyes and ears of the United States on the ground, to communicate directly with village leaders. And there's simply no way for them to go unnoticed. So Yusuf is absolutely right. You know, he's in a direct line of threat as a result of his work with the United States, and he has to take whatever precautions he can to make sure that he and his family stay safe.
Katie Reisner joining us from New York, talking about a difficult situation, certainly for him and many others. Thank you so much.